listening to The Burn. Gaming stuff, blazing fast.
Welcome to a new episode of The Burn, a podcast about gaming done blazing fast. I'm Aviv Manoach.
And I am Omer Kaplan. Hello.
Hello, Omer. How have you been?
You know, I've been doing, well, okay, but not because of you. Because after you told me about Crusader Kings in the last episode, I feel like that's all I've been doing. And now we're here.
That's good. That's how this podcast works. No, we either talk about something we both played and then we both played it, or we talk about something one of us played and then we get the other one to play it, and that's how it works.
Yes.
It was a running joke at the time that I get you to buy games, but since I've been playing games that are in Game Pass, it's not even buying them.
Yeah, no, but that's taking it to another level. So last time we talked, I didn't want to play Crusader Kings, and then you talked about it, and I watched you play it a little bit, and then I was like, okay, maybe I'll try it, I'll give it another shot, and get through the learning curve, and what is it, like 3 weeks later?
Yes.
Here we are, and yep, I literally almost didn't play anything but.
Okay,
that.
so let's do the opening and then tell us a bit about your campaigns, and then we'll move on to other games. So this is The Burn. In each episode of the show, we discuss games we like or didn't like, but usually like. I think that over the last 38 episodes, there were like maybe 2 games that we actually didn't like. We don't tend to keep playing stuff we don't like. But anyway, and then we'll talk about news, and that's it. You can listen to The Burn on theburn.live. That's our website with all the episodes. And you can also catch me live, twitch.tv/icel.me, where I record the other podcasts in Hebrew if you're a Hebrew speaker. And sometimes I play games and make them. So, Omer,
Yes.
Tell us a bit about your crusading campaigns.
Okay, so let me tell you what shifted my perspective of the game and how I got into it. So I think my issue, coming from Stellaris, where you don't have any, it's not about succession. It's more about the management aspect.
As we talked last time, Stellaris is the most structured of the Paradox game. There is the actual early game, mid game, end game. There is a victory condition, etc.
So my issue was that I got too attached to my ruler character, and then I was like, okay, well, I gotta make all this happen during this one lifetime, and here's my campaign. But as soon as I realized that a campaign is played across generations and across multiple dynasties and families, and I had to plan things I wanted to do for a couple of rulers ahead. As soon as I got into that mindset, I was like, oh my god, that's okay. So I think I get how this game, what's the flow of the game. So what I did, so that was a pretty cool realization. So I took the, so there's, in the whole, I think I started in 866, I was almost the earliest you can get. And then there's in the whole big Christian world, there's one Jewish tribe in Ethiopia. I think we talked about it on the last episode.
Yes.
So there's one tribe, and one of the goals for that tribe is to restore the Jewish faith in Jerusalem. The problem is between that tribe and Ethiopia and Jerusalem.
You played the same campaign as me, only I started a custom roller in Israel, and you did the harder start of taking the existing Jewish rollers in Axiom.
Yes. So my goal is to slowly but surely and reach to the Jerusalem and restore the Jewish faith and everything, and all the cool stuff. The thing is, being the only Jewish tribe in a very big Christian environment, is that nobody wants to marry you, nobody likes you, nobody would have alliances with you. So you kind of have to play to play it smart and try to like protect and everybody wants to conquer you because like you're a very good target for holy wars. So you kind of have to like play it smart. So what I figured out and what I ended up doing is very similar to what the modern state of Israel does. Is that I was like relatively small but with very strong like military, and I was like, nobody touch me. I'm gonna conquer you. So and I'm slowly but surely building like conquering my way up to Jerusalem. I'm fairly close.
Yeah, playing tall is very strong in this game.
Yes.
Did you find the trick with if someone likes you, you can make them convert?
Yes, but the thing is, all the people that I want to convert, they're like too powerful, so like they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but you start with like, okay, you marry some not a low burn person that's not Jewish. You make them convert. All your children convert. Then you get all different people in your council that are not Jewish, and then you sway them, and then you make them convert. And slowly over time, you sprinkle Judaism around your kingdom.
Yeah. So so I didn't do that. That's a cool trick. I'm gonna try that like my next session. What I'm doing is, so first of all, one of the best decisions I've made very early in the game was next to me there's like two big kingdoms. So I said, okay, well, I need one of them to be my liege, otherwise I can't be like independent for too long. Otherwise, people will just like
it's hard being independent. Although don't make my mistake of getting arrested by your liege.
Oh no! So I make sure my liege likes me all the
you,
time.
yeah.
But I wait. So one time, so I'm at a point now where I'm like so I'm inside the kingdom. There's like a couple of duchies. I'm one of the biggest ones and definitely one of the stronger ones. So there was one time I was waiting for like that liege to go into like holy war with someone, so they almost didn't have any army. I was like, this is my perfect timing to like just take over more stuff. So I'm just like slowly eating my way through that kingdom, and then I'm just gonna reach Jerusalem and like make good stuff happen.
Okay, nice, very nice. We'll catch up to you next time, and we'll see what's going on.
So it's pretty cool that it's played over generations. So
exactly.
That's I'm totally into it.
Exactly. The actual winning condition is to achieve your goals by the end date of the game. That's the ticking clock.
Yes.
So before we go on to the game of the show, I will have a mini game to talk about Unpacking. It's just a mini in terms of we're not going to talk about it a lot, but it's also like a 3-hour game. If you haven't heard of Unpacking yet, it's a very cute, nice, chill game with nice pixel art graphics where you you go through the life of someone. You get to pick a name at the beginning, but obviously it's not you. It's a very specific person because you get all of their like all of their stuff and like clothes and their devices and all of the things that build their life around. So it's a very specific person, and you go with them through different periods of their life, and when they move to a new place. So the first place is their childhood home, and then they go like to college, and they have a dorm room, and then they move in with roommates, and they move in with like a significant other, and they probably break up because they go back home, and then to a place on their own, etc., etc. The game, it's a game that tells you a story with zero text, except for like a caption when you finish a level. So they don't tell you anything. There is no like actual people on screen. It's just you and a room and boxes, and you put everything in its place, and you learn things from the stuff, the items. Like this is like an artist, a graphic designer, because in all of her life periods she has art supplies, and then at some point she gets a computer and she has like a graphics tablet, and she has a portfolio that she carries around and stuff like that. And she's a she because she has women's clothes and bras and stuff. Although I don't know how she identified, but that's the clothes she gets. And yeah, it's heartwarming and it's very cool, and it's on Game Pass, so you can play that at any point. It's about 3 hours, as I say. I started this morning and finished it by noon, and I like it a lot. Very, very nice experience. So that's that. And now let's move on to the game of the show, Last Epoch.
Yes. All right. So yeah, first of all, yeah. So we talked a little bit about it in the pre-show. I played the demo for Unpacking. Super cute, relaxing. I didn't know there was a story. It's even better now. I think it's on sale. Even if you happen to catch the show today, it's like on $15. Pretty worth it. All right. So let's talk about Last Epoch. So I'm always on a hunt for a good like Diablo. I don't like that we even call it Diablo clone, but I think that's what it is.
Because
like Diablo.
we don't. We call it an ARPG. We don't call it Diablo clone.
Yeah, but specifically I'm looking for Diablo clones. So yeah, it's RPG, but like something that would take like the Diablo 2 atmosphere without being like Diablo 2 or the remake, and just like be a little bit dark, have like good skills, like all the loot drops, all that good stuff, and bring it into a game. So yeah, so I'm looking for an RPG, but specifically I'm looking for a Diablo clone. So I tried a whole bunch of stuff. You got your Path of Exiles of the world. You have your, on the other end of the spectrum, you have your, forgot the name of that Torchlight of the world. And nothing came really close. But then, so at some point I was like, and that game was always kind of like on the fringes of my consciousness. I was like, okay, well, that seems like a nice game. But some time ago I was like, okay, I need that like, ARPG action, like drop some like, get some loot, fight skeletons, like all that stuff. So I got Last Epoch. It's still in, I think, early access or beta.
Yeah, it is.
Which it's kind of weird because I think it's been like that for forever. So I go in the game.
It's first released in April of 2019, so 2 years. That's 3 years.
Okay. Yeah. 2019 sounds like last year, but it's not for some reason. So the cool thing about this game, first of all, it looks very super modern. It transitions super well to like our point in time, which is I think better looking than Torchlight or obviously Diablo. The cool thing about this game is that they took like tidbits from all the other action RPGs, kept the game like true to its form, so it's very actiony, explosive. All the skills looks amazing. All the everything you do is like truly up to the genre. The cool thing they did is that they chose like very nice and innovative set of classes. So you got your base classes. I think there's like 4 of them. 5. You got your your warriors, your rogues, your mage. And
there is a sentinel, mage, primalist, acolyte, and rogue.
And the cool thing about those is that you get your basic set of skills, and at some point during the game you unlock a mastery. So it's pretty much it reminds me of like Grim Dawn, where I'll also play that game. Where you can like get a class and then like specialize. So this game doesn't have subclasses as far as I know. There's like a base class and then a mastery, but the masteries are super interesting. So, for example, I started playing as a mage, but then what I really wanted to play as is like a spell sword. So you just like you're a mage, but you're melee, but your attacks are like elemental damage, and you like siphon mana, so you can like do powerful attacks. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
The only thing I need to know is that there is a druid, and then that's it.
Yes, there is a druid. So the primalist can be a druid, and the druid have bear form and entangling roots and all the cool stuff. Yes, they totally have that.
So this is literally Diablo-like. We want the druid bag. Yes,
I know. That's what, yeah. So that was my main like thing I was thinking about. Like, do I go like as a spell sword, or do I go the druid? So I'm gonna try that. There is a rogue subclass called the falconeer,
Yeah.
which I think is like super awesome. I don't know what it is and how it works, but I don't know. Just being a falconeer sounds awesome. Is it falconeer? Falconer? Ear, air,
It's written as falconer. I don't know. I heard
I
this
don't know.
word in very many different variations.
Yeah, falconeer sounds better. So it sounds like a
Interestingly,
job.
there is also a lich, which I kind of want to try.
It's yeah. So those yeah, and that's like exactly how it sounds. So there's a lot of cool mechanics in there, and I didn't explore them all per class.
Like the only
The
question is, do all of those have real, like actually unique gameplay, and not just
so I can tell you between the mage and the spell sword, it's very different because like mage, is like it's range and like big fireballs, big spells, like throw ice at people. The spell sword, I think they call it like mage blade, magic blader, whatever. I need to find the exact name. It's a spell sword.
spell
Um,
blade.
spell blade, yes. It's 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 more like attack. I mean, the way I build it, it's like more attack speed base. It's you have to have to siphon enough mana to keep your magical attacks going. So like, and you have to protect yourself, which like as a mage you don't have to do as much because you can teleport around, like evade. So I think between those two, and I started as a mage, and then evolved into the like spell blade.
Spell blade.
Yeah. So it does. It's a totally unique gameplay. All the monsters and all the levels are pretty like up to par. So it's not like as dark. I mean, it's dark-ish. Like the monsters are horrifying, so that's kind of nice. It feels like little bit less dark than Path of Exile, but still like dark enough, so it's like on par with like the Diablo-esque thing.
The aesthetics actually remind me more of Baldur's Gate than
Oh
Diablo.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can totally see that. The the story itself is, I want to say, like secondary. So I'm not even gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna tell you the story because like you may be interested in the story, but it's like some time travel, some saving the world by finding shards, like the Last Epoch, the kind of like a magical thing. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, all you want to do is like go, like kill a bunch of monsters, get loot, progress.
Mhm.
Um,
So
the skill, yeah.
I will just say to put some context to it. Despite the fact that it's 3 years old, it's still very much in development. It has over 10,000 reviews on Steam with very positive mark. So that's a good indicator.
Yeah, if you're looking for like an ARPG that's like single player and it's super super solid, and it's like every time I play it, it's fun. It's nice and intuitive. You get all the jobs, all the loot. Like that gameplay loop is like fully figured out.
Mhm.
Um, the funny the funny thing is, which is I kind of like, and I hope it didn't change, but it probably will, is that there's supposed to be multiplayer in this game, but right now it's like all single player.
It's in
But the
development.
multiplayer is like it's a
Yeah,
work in progress.
yeah.
But so right now in the game, you're playing single player like all the way through, but you have like chat, like the multiplayer chat. So you have your trade channel, you have your general channel. Like there's people in there, but there's like no other way of like interacting with them. But it's kind of nice because I had questions about a build, so instead of like looking that up online, I just opened the chat, ask some people, keep going. So that was
Yeah,
nice.
it seems it's going to be a very big thing. The multiplayer is in development. It seems they are working on like a legal season system, like Path of Exile and Diablo.
Yeah.
So that looks awesome.
No, it's good. It's good, but I'm just playing it for the single player, and that's kind of one of the things that I didn't like about Path of Exile is that I want to play the game like solo, but then it's like I go into town and there's like so many people around me all the time and the chat, and I know you can turn that stuff off, but the people are still there. So this is how I got my.
In Passive Exile, I usually turn on single self found or whatever it calls, solo self found. And that mode it started as like a personal challenging for people to like no trade and stuff like that, and then they turn it into an actual game mode. So you can play in Passive Exile in a game mode where you declare from the beginning, I'm not going to trade, I'm not going to do anything multiplayer, and then you just play the game that way. The problem with Passive Exile is that if you don't pick a viable end game build from the beginning of the league, you will get to a point where you're stumped and you have nothing to do about it because the skill system is a mess.
Yes. It's pretty big. So here,
it's huge, and you can't respec effectively.
Oh, okay. So here in Last Epoch, first of all, you can respec very easily. You have, so that's like kind of interesting. I haven't seen that in other places. So you have your own passive skill system, which is very similar to what they have in Grim Dawn. So you can either increase your base stats or get some new abilities, like as you improve. And you have a specific skill tree for your abilities. So let's say
each ability has its own mini skill tree.
Yes, yeah, and you can choose which one you want to invest. So, for example, you reach level 10, it'll say, okay, well, pick your favorite skill, and then you can go into the skill tree and like improve that. So, I really liked, Chain Lightning, for example. So Chain Lightning, you can say, okay, well, I want it to change more. I want it to chain less, but more damage. I want the lightning to become ice. They actually think that like it's in the game. I want the lightning to become ice and then maybe freeze people. So you can really
good. I like that. It's very akin to Diablo 3's rune thing, which was also very very good.
Exactly. Yeah, you know what? That's a very good equivalent.
The best thing about Diablo 3 was the total freedom in changing everything about your character anytime you want. And try new things and stuff like that, and more games should do that.
That's like kind of like, I think so. That's kind of level of freedom exists here. I didn't play much because I'm kind of like got to a build I like, and I'm just like playing that, and it's super fun. But yeah, it's I don't know. I literally have no like it's just like if you're looking for your ARPG fix, that's good. The game rarely goes on discount, so it's kind of like
it's kind of expensive. That's the only like downside of it.
Yeah,
it costs. Expective is in perspective. The regular price is $35.
Yes,
and it's not on any store besides Steam.
Yes, yeah, I think I got it. I think I got it for full price. Oh. But yeah, if you're looking for something, to put you to hold you between now and maybe, I don't know. Like the more I read about Diablo 4, the more I hope it doesn't get inspired by Lost Ark. So if you're looking for a good ARPG experience, I think that's like as good as you can get now.
We are currently still in the Blizzard boycott, so it doesn't matter what happened to Diablo 4.
Yes. Oh, and by the way, there's like in Last Epoch you have boss battles, and the bosses are more frequent than your Diablo 3 end of chapter or end of act bosses. But they're big, they're impressive. Sometimes they relate to the story, but I'm gotta say I'm not super interested in the story, or at least it didn't grab me.
Okay.
Maybe the way it should have.
Great find, Omer. I may pick it up.
It's I think it's worth it. It looks good, it plays good, it's interesting. I'm slightly tempted to restart the game as a druid, but I'm also want to progress into my spellblade now, so we'll see.
Nice. Okay, let's talk a bit of news. Two quick ones, and then I go to the big one. First of all, There are initial, I won't say rumors, but I don't know, whispering about Last of Us original remake targeting holiday release window, so that's probably November. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't play the game so far because I could play the PlayStation 5 remake.
Yeah, I was just about to say that I'm sorry, but I didn't play. I know it's a really good one, but I didn't play.
No, it's one of the things. When I bought my PS4 originally, I bought a bunch of games that were like the big things to play. I know, and I didn't play all of them immediately. So, for example, God of War, I only played this year. Horizon Zero Dawn the same, stuff like that. So, Last of Us still waiting for me, and now I will have the chance to play it on the PS5. It's interesting, by the way, Last of Us, that will be the second remake. It was remade for the PS4, and now it will be remade for the PS5. So that's a thing.
Nice.
And the next thing is that next month, PlayStation are launching the new PS Plus services, which will be, it's not a direct competition to Game Pass. They are doing it a bit differently. They're called different strategy, but more in line with a service like Game Pass. So the new PS Plus will have tiers. The basic tier is the same as right now. I think they are lowering the price. You get like 2 to 3 free games a month, access to a small library, stuff like that. Sales. The mid tier, which will be the big thing, will get you a library of games to play. Sony said there won't be like big day one releases like Xbox does. So that's the big difference between them.
Okay.
But for me, I think like I already have a PlayStation. So for me, it's an advantage. I will get a library of games to play that I may not own. While Game Pass, it's actually like a system seller thing. Like I will tell people that don't have any consoles, get like a Series X or Series S even, pay the $5 for Game Pass, and you will have like hundreds of games to play from the get-go. I don't think that the PS Plus thing will be a system seller for PlayStation, especially where there is still a shortage of the console. So that's the thing. And the biggest tier is combining PS Now as well. So streaming service, they're also going to bring classic titles to it, and they are remaking them. That's the big news from this week. They are remaking classic titles from like 20 years ago. They are bringing them like into modern engine, modern accessibility features. They even have a dynamic save feature where you can just stop the game at any point, save it, and come back later, regardless of the save feature of the game itself. That's great. I want them to put it in everything.
Especially on older games where...
Yes, especially on all those games where save points were a mess.
Yes.
So that's a big thing. I probably won't pay for the top tier. I will pay for the mid tier to get the library and stuff. But yeah, PlayStation is going to get better for PlayStation owners. So that's good. And the last thing, which is the thing I want to talk about. If you haven't heard, like 2 weeks ago, Square Enix sold almost all of its game IP to a company called the Embracer Group. That include IPs like Tomb Raider and Deus Ex, and I don't remember what else. So basically, Square Enix are sort of focusing on its like core Japanese IPs like Final Fantasy. They are just registered a bunch of trademarks on future Final Fantasy titles, stuff like that, and they are offloading the more Western titles like Tomb Raider and Deus Ex. Embracer also bought just wholesale Crystal Dynamics, which is the developer of the latest Tomb Raider games, and they are now saying they see great potential in this acquisition. They are planning like remakes of old games and do new games and stuff. So I like it. I like it a lot of in the state that we are in the video game publishing world. A lot of big companies sit on their IPs even if they don't plan on doing anything with them. And I like the fact that Square Enix took like a strategic decision. We are not going to do anything with those IPs. Let's sell them off to someone that will actually do something with them. I applaud you.
And that's super great, and for a strategy perspective. And also in the article, it says that they're working on the next iteration on the Tomb Raider IP in the Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
So
that was announced a while ago, even before the acquisition. The Unreal Engine 5 news was announced even before the release of the release version of Unreal Engine 5, like it was in the early access version. So Tomb Raider is one thing. I think a new Gear game is supposed to be in the new engine, which makes sense since the Gear series is originally like an Unreal thing. So yeah, looking forward to those.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Excellent. So that is all we have on the show today. That was a very classic episode. We talked about games. We talked about some news. Great job. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Omer, for being with me, as always.
Yeah, no, thank you for giving me the tip on the Crusader Kings. I'm going to implement
on converting
right
people to Judaism. Yes, great tips all around.
Jerusalem will be ours. Maybe.
You can find us online on Twitter. I'm at Icel. Omer is at Omer Kaplan. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, comment, and leave your reviews on your preferred listen app. You can find all of those links at the Burn.live website. And our opening theme was created by Andorco with vocals by Fishy Twitch, both on Twitter as well. That's it for today. Thank you, and we'll be with you next time. Goodbye.